You hardly ever found one with any rust, did you? Right.
Not the Fords used to rust, not the BMCs.
Lada became the next taxi by default.
Yes.
Also.
Actually, because
Yeah.
the importation of cars was very, very limited back. You can leave Crossroads with a hot Bruce's patty and you reach halfway through, taking the JOS bus, and you still can't eat it. It's still had
Kareem's Quest.
Mon's Taxi, Yellow Cab,
Yellow
and Checker
cab,
Cab.
yes,
And Checker Cab.
That's
All
right.
on and all
Yes,
people.
yes.
So listen, I need
Yes,
this in the
Checker
comment
Cab.
section. Anybody who knows about Checker Cab, right?
And the examiner put his nice fountain pen
Yeah, I said don't make the vehicle roll back.
behind about a couple inches from here, behind the rear wheel.
Yeah,
Say, young boy, see the pen? I want it back.
yeah.
Now, each taxi and every taxi had to have a
Meter.
a
Yes,
meter.
yes.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. On the passenger side.
Yeah.
On the front
Yes.
of the dashboard.
So when you got in there,
You
Yes.
knew how long you were driving
Yes. It
when he moved off
rotated.
after his first like 100 yards, he would turn on the meter.
Right.
And it would automatically read 1 and 6 pence. So the meter registers 1 and 6 pence. And then each mile he went, it would increase the amount of money.
for. Right.
And I think it was like 6 pence a mile or something like that.
Oh,
So these meters were standard paraphernalia for all of the taxis. And I know that my dad used to service
a lot of them.
all of them, all of
really?
the meters, yeah.
Good roast. So,
Yeah,
persons, tell me. Well, I want you guys to tell me then. What did you rate about the durability of the vehicle then? Did it hold up? And did it hold
Oh
hold
yeah,
up?
oh yeah.
You know,
You hardly ever found one with any rust, did you? Right.
Not the Fords used to rust, not the BMCs.
Yeah.
No?
No.
Mm-mm.
That was like good.
Unless they were really abused.
Yeah.
Right? The wheel arches, they used to have they used to use hot water, hot spray.
Yeah.
And wash out the wheel. Not today, you just use
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
They used to, as cigars, used to use a hot spray. with
Yeah.
it.
Steam
Yeah,
cleaner.
steam, yeah.
Yeah.
Steam clean, they called it.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes. Right.
So what
yes.
about like shocks? Because I know now were the roads better then or no?
I would say they were better. They were
Then
much
more
narrower.
better maintained.
They were narrower,
Yes.
but the road surface was better.
Okay.
It was tar and gravel. What they did was they marled the road first. They cut the road area, then they'd marl it, and they'd use a steamroller.
Okay.
And that was a huge roller be driven by steam, by a steam engine, like a train. And they would roll the surface really flat. Then they would give it a spray of hot tar,
Right.
and then they would throw loose gravel on it, and then spray it again with hot tar.
Oh,
so you
wow.
had at least 1.5 inches, 2 inches
Yeah.
surface
Ah.
on it, for road surface. They lasted very long, and you didn't have as many heavy vehicles
That's right. That's
running on the roads
Okay,
at the time.
Got you. So
You know?
the upkeep was better then.
And the upkeep was better.
So you're not changing out a lot of front end parts.
No.
No,
And
not
those
really,
cars were
no.
much more durable.
Yeah. Yeah.
The front ends were dual wishbone, up and lower wishbone with
suspension.
spring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
they were
leaf springs in the rear.
leaf spring in the rear.
Yeah.
And they used not telescopic shocks but arm shocks.
Oh really?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
did those compress better in terms of feeling like,
Well,
moving
for
over
the
uneven
lower
surface?
speeds, obviously, and
Yeah.
yes. 'Cause
You wouldn't race with something like that.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I mean, it
Right.
was comfortable enough for to carry a family and
Right.
drive around.
You're not dealing with a power steering here, so no. So
No.
what was turning like?
Well, the Austin Cambridge
Hard
had
power
actually
no.
no. It was a
Okay.
Werman ball steering box. We didn't have rack and pinion at the time,
Right.
and their turning radius was quite good for such a large car.
Right.
And just remember that the roads were much narrower.
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
So that must be very impressive, right?
Yeah, that
For
was
its
impressive.
time,
Yeah,
it was okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Do you recognize any of these items? Well, test your Jamaica knowledge at kareemsquest.com.
Yeah.
So those faded out now, and we're going to talk about the Lada now being the next taxi, right?
Lada became the next taxi by default.
Yes.
Also.
Actually, because
Because
the importation of cars was very, very limited back when they
the
graduated
PNP
from.
government
Yeah.
decided that foreign exchange was crucial, and they got something like a line of credit from Russia.
From Russia.
I'm not too exactly
Yeah,
sure,
alright, cool.
but I mean it was like barter. They must barter for bauxite.
yeah,
I don't quite
yeah.
remember.
Persons, if you remember this, and don't turn this into a political argument, because it's not a JLP versus PNP type thing. We're
Yes.
just talking about history and some of the things that occurred in history, all right?
what we remember.
Yes, so what
Yeah.
we remember. So the Lada's coming in now. What are your first impressions seeing a Lada? Which year what talk about now?
To me, a Lada,
Was a
the
Fiat.
pre-runner to a Lada was
It's a Fiat.
a Fiat, which is the same company
Okay.
operating in Russia.
Actually,
Fiat
Fiat
came from
had
Italy.
stopped making that type of vehicle,
that
and
shape.
they sold all
The
the
molds.
machinery and molds and things to
To-
Russia.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they made their own, but
Yeah.
it was nothing compared to the original Fiat.
Fiat.
Ah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
the
Fiat
original
was
Fiat was a-
Italian.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fast car.
Good cars.
Yeah.
This one now
Good
cheaper,
cars.
right?
Oh, lots cheap.
Yeah,
And you had to line up to get
and
one.
accessible. And accessible.
Yeah.
They were accessible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you
Yeah.
must remember now, in the late 70s, 80s, cars you couldn't get a license to import a car that easily.
Okay.
You know?
So we
a
still
lot
have,
of the large
we
companies.
still have the same car dealership.
Yes, yes.
You had to
But
put your name on a list.
Yeah.
And you were like 1010. And if you were number 10,
Yeah.
the man sell the car and tell you, say, well then, something wrong with it or something.
Yeah.
And let
Yeah.
me tell you, it was something else.
Yeah, that was
You had to get a license for a car part. You in the 70s, Richard. And they
70s,
give you
80s,
like
yeah.
£200. And when you bring the car part, they stamp off £100. That's what I remember.
yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had to go to Haiti to buy parts for my Fiat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had a big dealership in Haiti and they used to have all the parts. Fiat here never had any.
Whoa.
And for
Right.
Ford, you went to Barbados
Yes.
so who-
and Mercedes.
Which company are you buying a Lada from?
There was
I
Llewellyn
can't
Briam. Llewellyn Briam.
Llewellyn Briam.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Robinson.
Ah.
Robinsons and
And,
what that road is again?
That was on where RGR is on
Yes.
Lindus Road?
Lindus Road, yeah.
So the Lada base was on Lindus Road then?
Right.
Or Beachwood Avenue.
Beachwood Avenue.
Beachwood Avenue.
Okay,
Yeah.
Beachwood
Yes.
Avenue.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Lada
And
base
then,
is on Beachwood Avenue.
and then you had,
Yeah.
and that's when ISA really came to prominence
Mm-hmm.
because they were also large importers of Lada
Okay.
from Russia.
So persons, if you have ever passed that Beachwood Road Lada headquarters, let me know what your experience was like in terms of just seeing it and seeing it for the first time. And if you were an owner of a Lada, please talk to me about what your experience was as an owner of a Lada. And persons, please remember the JOS bus system. I have a beautiful article on that. Just make sure that you're subscribed first to the page, all right? But you can just search my page and find that JOS interview that I did about the JOS bus system. Cecile Clayton did an excellent interview. So talk to me about the Lada now.
Oh,
You drive it now. What is it?
My friend owned one.
Yeah.
And it couldn't drive from the dealership.
You serious?
It broke down.
Yeah, because it was a Russian car, and a lot of them stayed on the wharf in Stalingrad and other places around
Yeah.
the world. A lot of them went to Canada, and the
Oh, yes,
sales weren't so
Canada had
good.
some, yes.
So a lot of them stayed on the
So
wharf.
what were
and
some of the problems that was happening?
Oh
with
boy.
them?
You name it.
Everything. Everything. Trust
Break
me.
down the top 5. What was the main
I
problem?
didn't own one, so
Well,
I can't tell you.
I had friends who had owned them,
Yeah.
and the tank rusted
Yeah.
and caused sediments to get into the fuel line.
Ah.
Would block up the fuel line, block
Yeah.
up the carburetor. They had myriads of electrical problems.
Yes, electrical problems. Yes, I
You'll be
do
just
remember
driving
that.
in the night, and
And the
all of a
lights
sudden,
dim.
just everything just went dark. Even the dashboard, everything just went black. and the car just stopped.
Yes, yes.
Are you serious?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That electrical
I think they had three
gremlins.
fuses.
Yeah.
Gremlins, yeah.
Only three fuses, and you know, it's like a lot that was like noted for to break down. But Jamaicans, like Cubans, very inevitable
Yeah.
mechanics and innovative mechanics and
Yeah.
electricians. They fixed everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The name
And
for the Lada was Lada Massey.
Lada Massey, yeah, because when you buy a Lada, it's a Lada Massey. You go buy a Lada Massey.
Oh my goodness.
Because it was really, but had the right mechanic gotten to it,
It could salvage something.
Yeah.
Yes.
and
yes.
I remember Jimmy Bruce from Bruce's was a
Wait,
good,
Bruce's party?
yeah,
Hold on, no. Persons, I've been trying to track down somebody who can tell me about Bruce's
Bruce's.
party. Bruce's party was on Crossroad, right?
yes,
Persons, if you remember Bruce's party, please let me know. So, real quick, I've interjected because I've always wanted to find out some
third
information.
generation Bruce is now
Yeah,
was Jimmy Bruce, and he was an innovative businessman,
yeah.
and he didn't like, well, because Tasty had come in and sort of bitten into his business by large because whatever reason, Jimmy found alternative business ventures,
Okay.
and one of them was he was a sub dealer for Lada,
Oh, really?
and he had good mechanics who were able to get around a lot of the problems, solve a lot of the problems. So he was a go-to man for a Lada that would actually run.
Okay,
you know?
then.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right, so wait, a little bit more about Bruce's party. What was a Bruce's party menu like? As in, what would you order from a Bruce's party?
Just a patty.
Just a party?
And a coconut water or a Pepsi or a Coca-Cola.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
Where was the place they used to put the tray on the car thing in Crossroads?
Maurice's.
No, it's not Maurice's, man. It's something else. I can't remember the name now.
So, persons,
You could
listen,
at Bruce's too.
tell me what your experience was if you ever went to Bruce's party. What was your experience? I want to find out some more information about Bruce's party. When did it shut down completely? You remember the era?
Lord, that was in the 80s.
70s or early
Late
80s.
late 70s, early
Early.
80s.
Early 80s, wow.
Yeah.
But it was a
But-
big thing, right?
It was the big thing before Tasty.
Yeah, long before.
Before
this.
Mr. Chang.
Yeah, long before.
So was Bruce, was this guy a Chinese guy?
No, he was a Jamaican mixed, much like us, you know. You'd call him like a Jamaica brown man.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right,
And
so
you'd buy a patty at Bruce's in Crossroads, for Tropans, something like that.
Something like that,
Yeah,
yes.
Tropans. And then you would take the bus and you go up to Halfway Tree, and you'd buy a Frosty for a penny halfpenny,
yeah.
and you'd open your patty and put a little of your Frosty ice cream in your patty to cool it off, and then eat it. And
You serious?
yeah, as children we used to do that, you know.
Okay then. All right, so
But a
person.
Bruce's patty was like a hell of a thing. It was like a meal and a half.
Wow. Same
You
size
ha-
though, right?
Approximately.
No man, it was a little. It was
Just a
bigger
little bit bigger, not much.
Fatter,
Not much.
fatter.
Fatter.
Yeah.
and real meat, you know.
So persons, tell me about your Bruce's party experience, please, all
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Tell me about what it is that you used to order at Bruce's party and how you used to cool it down when it was hot.
Yeah.
Want to know about that and how much
'Cause you
did
can
pay for
leave
it?
Crossroads. You can leave Crossroads with a hot Bruce's patty, and you reach Halfway Tree, taking the JOS bus,
Yeah.
and you still can't eat it. It's still hot same
Still
way.
hot same way?
Still hot same way.
With
Okay.
heat, not pepper, with heat.
With
With
heat,
heat.
yeah. But it was real ground beef.
Okay then, so now, yes, so Bruce's now, one of his venture was to make parts for the Lada then, or to repair the Lada.
Repair the Lada, and he was a
That
sub.
must have been good business.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
a sub
of
dealer.
course.
Sub dealer. He was a big sub dealer.
So then why would I want to run a Lada then as a taxi, knowing that it's going to go through so much wear and tear and it's just going to start giving so much problem?
You
Well,
couldn't get anything else.
You couldn't get anything else, and
Yes.
it was after, if you sorted out the gremlins,
Yeah.
it was the most reliable car. I tell you, between where the most taxis used to run, Lada taxis used to run, was the route between Kingston and Mandeville.
Really?
Oh man, you could find some. I don't know how they got them to run so fast, but you know, like Williamsfield and going up Spur Tree and all
Yeah.
of that, it was a Lada. Lada was the machine to have. And they came, the second ones coming were called the Phoenix. And they were like a wagon, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes, the wagon one. I
yeah,
remember the wagon one.
yeah.
The Neva.
No, the Neva was the SUV.
The
Yes,
SUV
okay,
one,
yes,
yes.
right.
Yeah,
Yes, yes, yes.
But-
So I want persons to recollect and tell me what was your experience like with the Lada. And remember my website, kareemsquest.com. You can find a lot of these nostalgic, rich Jamaican articles on my website, persons. So subscribe to my YouTube channel and visit my website, kareemsquest.com, where you can find history of our transportation system, the Windrush generation, just different things about cultural articles, Jamaica's rich history. So you're saying that they're running that Mandeville route?
Ran the Mandeville route. Some of them extended all the way down to Santa Cruz, Savlamar.
Really?
But the main runners were Kingston, Mandeville, was a Lada, and most of them used the Lada Phoenix because it had the
Space
around the
yeah.
back, yes.
Because you had like maybe 3-4 people around the back with some luggage and
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff, you know.
Now the Lada ran its course, right? And I guess persons were happy. Then it get replaced by the Corolla.
By the Corolla, and motor sales was bringing in a lot of
What else?
Ford
Lancer.
Martinas.
No, Lancer.
Oh, Lancers.
Yeah, Lancers.
Oh yes, that is true. That is
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
We definitely ran through it. John Crooks then. Who is John Crooks? Where is his origin? Because you're saying he used to bring in Lada.
John Crook,
Was the
they
agent for Austin.
Austin,
Sorry,
Jaguar,
Austin,
Austin, Austin BMC, Jaguar, yeah.
So where did he is that a name of a real person, as in?
I don't think so, you know.
But
I
John
don't
Crook,
know. I don't.
yeah,
know. I don't
it was
know.
John Cook, and they became a part of another conglomerate. They were a part of the Real Nephew Group.
Oh, because it seemed like they were a really big thing though.
along with who Real Nephew Group eventually bought out KIG.
Yeah.
KIG was Henriquez Brothers.
Okay.
Those the Henriquez Brothers were the original KIG owners.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Because
and they
I have heard John Crook name like so many times.
Yes. Yeah.
You get where I come from?
man.
Like,
Yeah.
but they were a smaller dealership than KIG.
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
KIG was
Ford,
bigger.
yeah, Ford was the thing, and they also brought in a lot of trucks and that sort of stuff, commercial stuff. Was KIG.
So looking at vehicles back then, right? Let's look at, so the Lada would have failed the test. So let me just do the Oxford Morrison then, right? Or
Morris
Oxford, right?
Yeah.
Those were vehicles then. What was like the durability of them and the Leland? Because I recognize that the Lelands were on the road forever.
Trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a commercial side of John Crook and the BMC.
Group.
Yeah, BMC group. They were very, very reliable. You never found like them breaking a crank or anything like that, like what Fords usually, the problems that you usually had with Ford. You know, they were very reliable at the time, and very, very affordable. For what you got, your bang for your buck, it had to be an Austin or a Morris.
Really?
Yeah.
Bang
Yeah.
for buck.
Bang for the
How
buck.
long did your father have his two-tone?
I would say at least 10 years, and he bought a Valiant afterwards.
I know,
Australian
I
Valiant.
know the term Valiant. I want to talk a
Valiant.
bit about the Valiant. What
Yes.
was a Valiant?
That was a big upscale thing, man. You'd have to be upper middle class. I don't know how him could afford it. I think it was a second-hand one he bought.
Yeah.
But that was luxury, right, Richard?
Yeah, man. That
In
was
them
that
days.
plush. That was like the
man.
Rolls
Let me
Royce
tell you.
at the time. Yeah.
Right.
If
yeah.
you know about Valiant, please write that in the comment section. So, Valiant, what did it look like?
It
And
was
what made it
like
luxury then?
A Ford Falcon.
Yeah, or like Paul's Plymouth Charger over there, more or less
Yes, something like that.
a square looking car,
Right.
So
but
what
very
made it
plush and
luxury?
the plush on the inside,
Yes,
man.
it
I
was,
mean, like,
you know, it was bigger. It was like an American vehicle.
and it
Right
rode
hand
and it
drive.
rode so much better.
Right, exactly.
Really?
It was like
Yes.
floating, you know. It
Yes,
was like
exactly.
What type
Yeah.
of suspension it used then?
I don't know. I really don't
and
know. But
being a car from Australia also,
Yeah.
it was very reliable and gave good mileage. Very strong car, you know. And their electrics never failed.
that's
Never
right.
ever
No, man, they
failed.
were very
Yeah.
good vehicles. I remember.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hardly
wow.
anything got.
What
went
era are
wrong.
we talking about with the Valiant?
The 80s.
Yeah. No, well, yeah, 80s, but late 70s.
Yeah, late 70s into 80s.
Early 80s,
Yes,
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yes.
Okay then,
Yeah.
okay then.
They were nice cars.
That
Yeah.
was
And reliable.
What?
I'm calling
Holden.
Holden.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So we have
Yes.
somebody in the background
Yes.
passing on the knowledge. And persons, I like talking to the seniors because they are the ones who with the knowledge. We're the ones with the technology. They are the ones now with the understanding of what is supposed to be done. All right. So thank you so much for sharing the knowledge. So you're saying what when you said old aunt, what that mean?
Holden was,
Holden was the name of
company.
another car out of Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holden and the Valiant. Yes.
Yeah.
They were similar vehicles.
Similar vehicles.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Right?
Both very strong
Yeah.
and
Really,
reliable.
it was really luxury at the time. I mean, at second tier below, maybe like a Mercedes.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
So
And the Holden was brought in by Sinclair's. It was their luxury brand at the time. Because Sinclair really started with Volkswagen. And Volkswagen wasn't a luxury
Sinclair
car.
was another company.
Down
Yeah.
and right in front of
Ellison Road.
Ellison Road Police Station.
Yeah.
Pacific Motors
Yeah.
was the name of it at that time.
Yeah. And they were mostly Volkswagen. Like after the war, they brought a lot of Volkswagens, and that was their bread and butter. So they needed a luxury vehicle, so they went and they got the Holden dealership out of Australia.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you have a Valiant in time, they say something.
Man, you're king of the road.
I'm gonna ask them something now because guess what? Calabar used to go, which school used to go?
KC.
KC, JC.
Okay.
Alright, so alright persons. Alright, so you're a young man them time, you right? You drive. Where are you taking a woman to on a date?
Well, my first date in a car, at the time I drove an Anglia,
Yeah.
and in Savannah Plaza they had a...
Where's Savannah Plaza? You have to tell me about them places. I
Savannah
remember-
Plaza is on Constant Spring Road,
Yeah.
just before you come to Central
lot.
Avenue.
Okay.
Or,
Oh, the lot. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Got it.
yeah.
So,
Before the
people,
lot.
Anybody who remembers Savannah Plaza, please write something in the comment section. Alright, cool.
And they had, upstairs, they had a steakhouse called Bullring.
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 Alright, so
Yeah,
again, whoever remember Bullring, right? So Bullring, yeah. That
Yeah,
sounds kind of
yeah.
expensive. You try and press her.
Well,
Him father had money, you know. Him father was Cecil Simpson drillers.
Oh, whoa.
Right?
So if I bling.
Yeah, Lord, man. Him-
Not really
him was
blinging,
way
but-
up there, man.
Him
Yeah.
blinging.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so you carry her. What age were you?
about 18.
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
You try and press her, yeah?
Yeah. So, carrot, you know, and you order a steak.
Yeah.
It came on a wooden platter.
Yeah.
It was like
What?
about a 12 ounce, a bowl of fries, and a pitcher of wine.
Alright.
And I think them times they were dollars. Yeah, we were dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was dollars at the time.
And it was probably about
2 to 1, maybe.
yeah, and it was probably $6 for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
you spent so much money. What
But
was
then-
the date like then? Was she appreciative of this?
Oh, she was so impressed, man. She was impressed that as a young man, you know, you turn up in a car and, you know, kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Pick up in a car?
That
her
was
up in a
unusual.
car, yeah.
That
Yeah.
was very unusual.
Yeah,
Don't it?
yeah.
You may not take her to a soda fountain, the average man. Say you take her to this. What was the date ending like?
Look here.
Yo, me not try
no,
it.
no,
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 no, but me
no.
not mean that. Okay.
No, well, I think that
Rephrase your question, please, sir.
we're going to plead the fifth right here. We're going to plead the fifth. We're going to plead the fifth. But usually,
Back to our yard. Because I have to reach back home by 10 o'clock, the latest.
Or you go to drive-in.
You go drive-in.
Yeah, you go drive-in and you really express how you feel. That's your main intention.
Boys will ask you, boys.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what was your first date? And in a car?
When I was in the military, so when I came back from officer training,
Yeah.
I bought a car. And, you know, military men in uniform,
Yeah.
woman like dirt all over the place. So but I think it was a driving too.
Wow, is that
I'm
right?
almost sure it was the driving, Harbour View driving.
Okay. What?
Right.
You remember the movie?
No,
No?
oh God.
Oh,
Come now.
Jesus. That's asking a lot.
What's the car? What's the car?
Morris Marina.
Morris-
1.8 TC.
Oh,
That was
God.
the top of the line.
Yeah, that's a
Twin
wicked-
carbureted.
You serious?
wicked car, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh.
wicked car, man. You can challenge that.
0 to 6 in about 22 seconds.
But you could still challenge.
1.8, yes.
You could still challenge a average
Ford
Cortina
Escort.
or a
Yeah,
Yes.
or a Ford Escort.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Persons,
Yeah.
if you tell me what was your experience, your first date experience, like what was your first car that you were driving? I love talking to these gentlemen. They're sharing so much knowledge with us. Please write your comments them and let us know, you know, what was your memory or your best memory of some of these vehicles, the Morris Oxford, whenever we touch on the Ford Cortina, but we did talk about the Lada, we did talk about the Leland, we did talk about, you know, some in the Valiant. Give us some of your
Holden.
experience, the Holden, and we talk about Bruce's Patty. So you can see more of my videos. All you have to do is just subscribe firstly, all right? And click the like icon so you can get more videos from me. And then after that, you just go through my video feed, click under my icon, go through my video feed, see my other videos, and then you can just watch them. I talk about JOS bus system, I talk about Jamaica money system, Trupans, pence, right?
Farthing.
Half penny.
Farthing too, right?
Half penny.
Half penny. Talk about all those
Sixpence
stuff.
drop a shilling.
Penny.
And shilling, right?
A shilling, yeah.
So we talk about all of those stuff. As usual, people, you're always welcome to join the quest. And go to my website, kareemsquest.com.